I gotta fix this water leak, man. I tried to fix it yesterday. That's the main line. It was a hack job, obviously. Whoever owned this place before converted this garage into a living space, and they just did all kinds of hack jobs. And yeah. Okay, here we go. I got the part. It's just a cap. Home Depot. It was like 59 cents. Very cheap. Just get the part. Now you got to put it in. Okay, this is where it's dripping at, right there. I put a cap on it, and that cap's not working, which I should have known better. So now I got to go shut off the main water, and mine's out front, and we'll go out there and shut that off. Here's mine. It's out front here. I have a huge gopher problem, so it's probably full of dirt. I may have to clean it out. Let's take a look. Sure enough, it's full of dirt. So now I gotta dig all that dirt out just to get to the... yeah. I don't know what to do about the gophers, but if anybody knows, let me know, because they're a problem. Anyway, I'll be back here in a minute. I'm gonna go get my little hand shovel and start digging this out. Okay, here's one of my favorite tools. This is a army shovel. It's one of the greatest tools. Very versatile. You can dig, you can chop, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. If you don't have one, get one. Okay, here we go. Here's my meter. So there's a little cap. Water that comes out, read your meter. And then there's my shut off, the blue. And then you can see that I have PVC going into the main, which kind of sucks. So you gotta be careful when you're digging these out so you don't damage that. They're easy to break. That's why I don't like the PVC, but anyway. Then if you don't pay your water bill, they'll turn that off. They have a special wrench, because I don't think I could turn that. And then they lock it, so you can't get water in there. So make sure you pay your water bill. But anyway, this is my shut off. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off right now. That should have pretty much do it. I'm going to go inside just to see if there's any pressure in the lines and to take out any pressure. Alright, I'm going to check my water. It's still running pretty good. Maybe I didn't shut it off. Let's see if the water shut off this time. Huh. Well, there you go. Definitely less pressure, but it seems to still be running. Which is odd. I need a new shut-off switch. Alright, so the blue one doesn't seem to shut it off. It slows it down. I'm going to shut off the main. This is going into the meter. This is what the water meter guys are the ones. This is what they use to shut your water off. So I'm going to use that. Then I have my tools here. Giant crescent and a small crescent. This should be enough to turn that, because they're usually really hard to turn. I'm going to give it a shot here. Okay, now the main is off. I'm going to go check the water again and see if this worked this time. Ready? So now I shut off the main a third time. Let's see if that one worked. A little bit of pressure in there still. This one looked like it worked. No water in. Okay? Because I don't want any water in the system. Because when you're doing your soldering, if there's water in the line, the solder will not work. Oh, 2 dogs. There's Chico. And there's Brown. He's like, what are you doing? What are you up to now? Doing some plumbing. Bathroom. Let's see. There you go. That's more like it. No water. So now I can go up, I'll go back out there into the garage and attempt to cap this thing off. See how it works, alright? Okay, here we are back into the water heater closet. Give you zoom on this cap. Basically it's a spigot cap, which I thought would work and obviously didn't work. So now, first thing I want to do is make sure all the water's out of there before I cut the smaller, see that line going up? I'm cutting that line and I'm going to cap it because that goes into the shower or whatever in the guest room, but I don't use it. Nobody lives in there, so I'm cutting it and capping it for now. And then later on, if I want to use it, I can hook it all back up. My little DeWalt kit here, I got it. This kit I got a long time ago. I've had it ever since. This thing does everything. If you're a do-it-yourself person, you gotta have a kit like this. I got this kit years ago, probably, I don't even remember how long ago, but it was a long time ago, and it still works perfectly. It's got the old big batteries on them, but 18 volts. I paid $650 back in the day. Now you can get them for under $300, the whole kit. And they got lighter batteries, longer life, so on and so on. So, but this is a must-have kit if you're going to be doing stuff on your own. So now I'm just going to be grabbing the Sawzall. This is the guy doing it. Oh, this thing is a great Sawzall. It's fast, it works well, and it's all battery. You don't need to plug anything in. Attempt to videotape this while I'm doing it. I don't know how well this is going to work. If it doesn't work, I'll show you the after effects. But the thing is here, I just want to cut this as straight as possible. I'm going to cut it up a little ways. Hopefully you can see this. And there you have it. And then I'm just going to bend this down, or I'm going to move this around a little bit, and so I can have access to this. While it's just sitting there. See, that's why it's this whole setup. Whoever did this before I bought it were complete morons. I hate to say it, but you know, this garage was converted into a house. So I pretty much put it back to what it was. But anyway, but see, it's got burrs on it. I got to clean all that up, sand it, and then just cap it and solder it. And hopefully I can show you. So I have a roll of this sandpaper. This is what they use to sand the outside of it. I don't have a deep burr tool, so at this point I'm just going to sand it, cap it, and solder it. And hopefully that'll work because I'm not using it. Later on, if I want to re-hook it all up or whatever, I'll deburr it and get the right tools. I just don't have the tool to do it right now. So I'm just going to cap it and hopefully it works. Okay? Here we are again. Hopefully I'm going to get this. If not, you won't see it. I got my little sandpaper here. I'm going to cut a piece. And I'm going to sand this real good. Just going to wrap it around there. Let it get sand down. Basically, it just cleans it off so it can stick. again, I'm not taking the burrs from the inside because I don't have the tool. And I'm not going to be using it. It's just going to be a line that's got water in it. When eventually I'd like to take that whole piece out. But anyway, you might want to use a shower someday in there. Okay, before you put the cap on, you want to flux it. There's flux you have to put on it before you solder it. The flux makes it stick to it when you solder it. So you make sure that you put the flux on before you put the cap on. So when you start to solder, it actually sticks to it and it seals it up. So here you have the flux, you have a little brush. So when you go get your solder, make sure you get this as well, because otherwise it won't work. Okay, here I am fluxing it. This brush is really old, so I'll end up just kind of spreading it around with my fingers. But you just want to get a nice coating around there of the flux. I should just put it on my finger. Alright. Then you grab the cap and put that cap back on there. So a lot of times it's kind of snug. That one slid right up in there. So it should be ready to solder now. Okay, here's my solder. It's a silver bearing lead-free solder. That's what I'm using for my solder. And here's my little soldering torch. That's going to be used. Heat it up and soak in the solder. Okay, I'm lighting up my torch. There we go. Nice blue flame. I got my solder ready here. Let's heat this baby up. Let's see what happens. I'll put the flame right on there. Heat it up. Probably a minute or so. Once it gets hot, you just drop it should soak right in there. I haven't done this too many times, so, but that's it. Once that flux starts melting, see how it just should drop right in. Make sure you don't drip that solder on you because it will hurt like a mother. And believe me, I've done it. So I'm hoping that does it. It should soak in there. And I'm probably overdoing it, but I want to make sure it doesn't leak. Then I turn the torch off. And bam. Alright, this is with the cap on. This is kind of what it looks like. And hopefully it holds. You still have to test it. You have to turn the water back on. And hopefully that thing will hold and it won't leak anymore. And I can get on with installing the water heater. But this is an episode of its own. Alright, so I'm going to go turn the water back on and we'll see what happens. Okay, turn the water back on. Looks like it's not wet, and I think it sealed it up. So that's your little cap. Now I don't have to worry about any water leaking in here for now.